Have you ever been in a situation when you said something to someone and soon after that realized that you shouldn't have said that? But for some reason, we keep finding ourselves in the same situation over and over again. Why does that happen? It's really simple, and once I explain to you why that happens, you will be able to become more self-aware. So I like to connect everything to evolution, and that's what I'm going to do today. So back in the day, in the primitive ages, survival was of most importance, and that is why we developed a radar in our mind which would identify anything unfamiliar and notify us as soon as we were around it. All of this happened so subconsciously that every time we were around danger, we would take the immediate action necessary, just like a reflex. And this is how a self-defense mechanism was created in our subconscious mind. After all of these years, we still have that self-defense mechanism, and every time we are around something that's unfamiliar, we take immediate action to protect ourselves from it. A while ago, I read about ego. I, for the longest time, thought that ego was something really negative and that's something that we shouldn't have. But after reading up about it, I realized that ego is nothing but a self-defense mechanism which protects us from things that we're not familiar with through instincts and impulses. There it is. It is all about your ego. The real reason you're saying and doing things that you instantly regret is that your ego is trying to protect you from things that you're not familiar or comfortable with. We have such a misconception about our ego that every time someone says that your ego is coming in the way, our ego gets hurt. But having an ego is not a bad thing. It's just here to protect us. The only problem is that survival today has become much easier than what it used to be back in the primitive ages. And our ego doesn't realize that it's okay for us to be in certain unfamiliar situations so that we can achieve more and become a better version of ourselves. That's where we start playing a role in controlling our impulses. And in order to do so, we need to first become self-aware. So here are 3 steps to becoming more self-aware. Most of the times what happens is we regret saying something, but we still continue to talk about it because we're feeling attacked and we feel like we're being asked to believe in something that is completely against our belief system. That's where our ego puts a big protective shield in front of us to protect us from all the uncomfortable things that we are asked to do. The next time you notice yourself lashing out, question yourself whether you're feeling attacked. The only reason you'll be feeling that way is because you're being pushed outside of your comfort zone. There could be times when you're being impulsive and you don't realize it. You may feel that you're being reasonable in that moment, but maybe a few hours later or days later you realize that you weren't. And if this happens to you often, what you should do is really notice and, more importantly, consider the other person's reactions. Use their reactions to notify yourself that you need to be more self-aware. Ask yourself in that moment, why is it that they reacted in that way and what is it that they might be thinking? And even better, go and ask them what they're thinking to save yourself from making assumptions. When you take a moment, notice their reactions and realize that you have an opportunity to evolve, the very thing that you are finding uncomfortable won't bother you as much anymore. If you want to be able to control your impulses, you need to start being more present. Most of the times when you find yourself in a situation like this, you'd probably be thinking about your past or your future, and you would say something in that moment, not realizing that it might hurt the other person. So start being more present as much as you can and be mindful of your behavior. Being present is one of the best ways to become more self-aware. Get out of your head and really think about what the other person is saying. If what they're suggesting will help you grow, you should definitely consider it. It may feel really uncomfortable in that moment, but the more you practice doing this, the more you'll be able to control your impulses. It's all about taking that one moment before saying that next thing. Next time you find yourself saying something or behaving in a way that you instantly regret, take a moment, question your behavior, notice the other person's reaction, come back to the present, and then continue the conversation. If you're still watching this video, thank you so much for being here. Hit the like button if you found this video valuable. Comment down below if you have more insights to share with me. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and share this video with your loved one to make them more self-aware.